finally did it. I finally created a profitable stock market algorithm. And in this video, I'm gonna be going over exactly how I created it from start to finish and the entire story. Now, it started with a lot of work. It took a lot of grinding and a lot of just research, and that alone took most of the time. I had to talk with different people, study, take notes, and really just dive into the real math and just components behind building an algorithm. How do you even do this? Like, where do I even start? It started with me when I became a trader, right? And I've been trading for the last 8 years. And as time went on through my trading journey and process, I noticed that a specific pattern would continuously occur in the market. Now, I wanted to extrapolate that pattern and find a way in order for me to capitalize off of it. So that's exactly what I did. And I went and embarked on my mission in order to build the best trading algorithm, at least the best trading algorithm that I could build, right? I wanted it to be profitable and see consistent growth. Now, there was a couple of things that I needed to watch out for. But before we get into that, a little bit of a backstory on who I am and how I started this and became a trader. Now, it all really started for me when I was in college. Now, I was a COVID student. There wasn't really much that I could do, and I went to ASU, go Sun Devils, but I wanted to, during my college at ASU in COVID, focus on something. I didn't want to just be sitting around there doing nothing while I watched all these people, right, just sitting in their dorm rooms watching Netflix all day. I'm the type of person who had to focus on something and build a project. So what I started doing was trading. And I traded in my dorm room for literally hours every single day, waking up at the crack of dawn and started trading. And I started to see a little bit of success with it. Now, as time went on and I started trading and I started learning more in my school, I found a bit of a crossroads. There wasn't much that I was learning in my undergraduate year, right? Especially in the first 2 years. So in my first year, I really took it upon me to learn everything that I possibly could when it came to trading. Now, by the grace of God, I met a guy and he actually was a partner at a hedge fund. And this was at some networking event that we had at school. He said, why don't you come work for me and offer me a position as an equity analyst? Now, I went to that firm and I learned so much. I learned about technical analysis. I learned about how they analyze charts and stocks, and really just was able to get my feet wet in the real trading game and the entire trading world. It was on one of the goals that they had at this hedge fund to build a trading algorithm, and that immediately piqued my interest. How can I build a trading algorithm for myself? I mean, I had already been trading and I had seen this one setup that constantly happened. So what if I was able to automate that setup? I immediately got to work, and that's when I started to build the first initial concept. The hedge fund was a lot of fun. I was with a good group of guys. We were cracking jokes all the time. We were literally just like playing golf, right, during the hedge fund. But that wasn't to say the countless hours that I spent grinding and researching how to build this trading algorithm. And that's exactly what followed next. I went straight to the drawing board. I knew that there was some big math behind this that I needed to figure out, and I wasn't really looking forward to it because I was never great at math in college. However, I was forced and thrown into it. I had to figure it out, and I realized that there was a couple of components that I needed to do. First thing was building an entire model. Now, I had to shape and frame everything that needed to be done in order to build this model. Now, I took things like moving averages, relative strength, and all these different components that you would probably know as a trader, right? And even if you don't know those, it's very common knowledge to what some of these things are. But I knew that if everyone knew what I was working on, and if everyone had access to these tools, then why wouldn't anyone just be able to build an algorithm? I knew that something needed to change. With an algorithm, it wasn't so much as what was used, it was how it was used. What I went ahead and did is added some components into this strategy that I had that was based on machine learning. Before we get into that, let's break down exactly how the algorithm was working in the beginning. So first we had a moving average. This was going to be the long-term time frame for that. We used the moving average in order to find the trend. And also, I needed to find the instances within that trend that were going to be oversold or overbought conditions. Now, once I was able to do that with the relative strength, then things started to formulate. I had some kind of a plan to where I could pinpoint where the oversold and overbought conditions were in the market, but that wasn't enough. Just because a market condition is oversold and an uptrend doesn't mean it's going to continue to go down. How do I find the point where these conditions are going to start reversing? Now, I came up with a mean reversion strategy from this. Now, a lot of people have different strategies: momentum, volume, scalping, HFT, but I saw that mean reversion for me personally worked the best. It didn't require heavy computational computing powers. Anyone could do it, anyone could run it without some kind of crazy server rack, right? It was easy, but there was a catch. How could I consistently tweak this to where it was profitable in any market condition? Now this became the hard part. This is when I added those machine learning components. That's when the algorithm started to get profitable. But it wasn't until I added the machine learning is when it got profitable for a long period of time. And this was the first eureka moment that I had, the first test where I knew that I had something. It was a 1.5 year long test where that was proven and validated. And since then, still, it's been very good. Now, the hard part about this, though, was then coming towards the optimization period of it. So I had to figure out a way to where all the parameters that I was testing for were going to be the right ones. Now, this was the hard part. How do I find exactly what works? And this just came with time. As time went on, and I couldn't see the future, but I could make out essentially where the market direction was headed, I could basically adjust the algorithm as needed. It came to a point to where I only needed to adjust the algorithm once, maybe every 3 weeks to a month. And then I would just see the consistent performance. Now, obviously, there was a statistical variance where it would go up and it would go down, or it would go down and then it would go up. But in the long run, I saw that it was consistently going up. Next came the implementation of it, and this right here was the hard part. Now, there was 2 routes that I could go, and the first route that I decided to go was just using it for myself. I started trading with it, using my own capital, and I had some money, so I thought, why not go ahead and use it? I had made a couple of good trades in the past using just some long-term investments, so I decided to go ahead and get started. Immediately, I saw there was some pretty good results here. Month over month, I started to get a little bit more consistent. The gains started to build up, and I could basically just cover most of my expenses just with using this trading algorithm. It became real. I was about to come to a very important crossroads in my journey, and I was about to graduate college. I had the decision I was faced with in terms of working a corporate job or deciding to pursue this full time. And guess what I did? It's pretty obvious. I decided to pursue this full time. I thought I would see more reward in doing it, and I definitely have. I've been able to help so many people with this trading algorithm, and it's only continuously gotten better. And my life has been amazing. I got my dream car, I have my amazing penthouse, beautiful penthouse that I'm in, and now I'm able to help other people be successful in trading. What are the future plans for this algorithm? Because obviously it's not done yet, and I don't know if it'll ever be done. I want it to keep getting better and better. So right now, what I'm adding to it is AI. Now, I think AI will be the next big thing for this algorithm because it will be able to consistently optimize all of the input parameters within it for infinite number of tickers, or at least all the tickers that we can trade, and be able to do it in a way that is fully automated. Not only that, but the AI will have a decision-making process that will be able to screen the probability of signals being profitable or not based on the past criteria that we've seen. AI is becoming a really big thing, and using this in your trading might just be a complete game changer. Whereas I'm getting cooked by the AI algorithms, right? I'd rather be on that team, the winning team, the one with AI. Continuously be better, but it's already good right now. What's there to really complain about? So all in all, I'm super happy about this algorithm, and if you want to use it as well, or just basically learn a little bit more about it, more of the specifics and how it's actually performing, go ahead and click the link in my bio. I posted a free training video exactly on how my trading algorithm works and how you can use it as well. And always, if you like this video, drop a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.